Welcome to The Divide with Mike and Corey, two diehard baseball fans who don't agree on anything. Which side will you choose?
Welcome
This
to The Divide,
is The Divide.
with Mike and Corey.
That's your boy Todd Frazier.
Hey guys, I'm Julie Stewart-Banks.
Hey, what's up? This is Cliff Floyd. You can catch me on The Divide.
You can catch me on The Divide on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Hopefully our disagreements one day bring us all together.
So stupid. So corny. And so stupid. I hope our disagreements bring us together.
Yeah, I do. This is The Divide.
And welcome everybody to Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 Philly, 104.1 Trenton, or on your favorite iHeartRadio app, or 104.5 on that HD radio button.
Or your favorite smoke signal.
I know, right? A couple hours like, did we choose a new pope? What happened?
I feel like as a Met fan, we use that meme a lot. Like everything's fine and the kitchen's on fire and you're just sitting at the table.
Dude.
Like that's been us all week.
So it was funny because when did it roll in? I guess Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was just whatever. I kind of got home. I think my mother-in-law was dropping something off at the house, and you look outside and we're like, "Where's the fire?"
Yeah,
and then there was
like your
fires near
neighbor's
us.
house is on fire. Jackson was on
New
fire.
Jersey, which is not far
Right.
from where we're at. So I'm like, okay, but then she was like, "No, it's from Canada." I'm like, "Canada,
Blame Canada."
And then Thursday, no. Tuesday that happened. Wednesday was when I thought the apocalypse was.
Yeah.
Driving home and everything was orange. Philly, the Yankees had to postpone. It was.
Dude, it looked like those old-time photos we used to have at Six Flags all the time. Like that was everything. It was like built-in filter.
Dude, it's just so insane to me. First of all, between everything we've experienced in our lifetime, because we're similar age.
Yes.
Just from
forget a lifetime, 4 years.
Right. So, but I was still surprised. You know what I mean? Like after COVID, I was like, man, nothing's going to surprise me anymore. Right. And now I'm just like, no way. A Canada fire?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're using these filters and masks now for different reasons.
So dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, I have yet to see it all. And I'm still surprised that multiple fires in Canada. Do you know when the fires even started?
No, I know it's like fire
asking,
season for them. So they have
I guess it's fire season for
they
everybody.
have an LA type fire season. But the problem is the way the wind was coming down, lack of rain. I don't know. But go ask the weather. Go watch Weather Channel if you want to know.
Where's Jim Cantori when you need him?
Yeah, for real.
Oh my God.
All I know is it sounds like the worst is over.
Hopefully,
yeah. We're out of the 500s, which is insane.
Dude, there were some doomsday people I was talking to that were like, we might not get to leave the house all summer. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Like,
meanwhile, like if you
never
look
gonna
at
go out.
The air quality in like Quebec, Montreal, it's green.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah. So they literally, Canada took a dump on the U.S.
Yeah.
This is their first victory against the U.S. ever. I'd like to point that out. So shout out to Canada. Well done. Now you know our Achilles heel.
Yeah, it's smoke.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently,
Joke's on you. I thoroughly enjoy the smell of campfire.
Oh man, it's been weird. It feels like when I go visit you when you're bartending, and like if you just step outside, your clothes for the next 3 days smell like soot because there's so many amazing fire pits.
It's in your clothes. It gets in your hair. Well,
yeah, your hair,
my hair,
gets in my eyebrows. No, I'm just kidding.
No, man. Yeah. I liked a little bit of weirdness. Break up the week with some fires from Canada. Sure. What I hated was the postponing of these baseball games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know who I blame for that?
Who?
Arson Judge.
Arson? That's come full circle. Arson Judge has reached the deal with Canada.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge is on the IL, 10-day, retroactive June 4th. So he hasn't been in the lineup. Stanton's back in the lineup for Yankees, but it's not really making a difference. Judge has 19 home runs on the season.
Yeah.
Close to your over 20.
I'm not saying he's out for the season, but I will report that if he is.
Oh my God.
No, it sounds like a 10 to maybe a month.
Did you see the play?
No. The collision? Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I thought you meant like the play, like
no. The reason Arson Judge is on the IL.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I watched it, because I was home all weekend and watching live, And they kept saying, the announcer's like, oh, there's a door there. He dented that door. He dented that door. And then on Sunday, they're like, yeah, there wasn't a door.
He created a door.
He created a door. There wasn't a door. But I'm torn in a sense of like, we just paid this man a lot of money.
Yeah.
I want you to go hard to the wall. That's what you get paid to do.
Agreed.
But there's a tiny part of me that's like, what are you doing, you idiot? It's just a ball, man. It'll bounce off the wall. Why are you doing
Just
that?
play it off the carom,
but
for sure.
No, it worked out. We took the series against the Dodgers, and then we ended up dropping a series against the White Sox.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But we got the Red Sox this weekend. 2 weeks in a row where we have Sunday night baseball.
Socks.
We got to change the socks from white to red. And honestly, they're still sitting third in the AL East. Nothing has changed there, and they're still better than pretty much all but one of the teams in the National League. Let's swing over to the National League. Before we talk Phillies, Mike's going to give an update on his beloved Mets.
Well, before I get into that, I want to just point out, because I'm seeing it on my timeline right now, it's so annoying. Like, just like snow, people were using this smoke to be like, I had it worse, and like sharing photos of what their experience was you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's annoying. Like, nobody cares that
who's claiming they have it worse.
I'm not going to shout them out on air, but it's just like everybody wants to talk about how their experience in the smoke was worse.
How about Buffalo? Man? Buffalo is like right
underneath
on the border,
literally.
And they got it pretty bad.
No.
The one thing I hate about social media is it's just this like, look at me and how bad I have it. You know what I mean? Like Anthony Jeselnik, comedian, does something similar. Like he does the thoughts and prayers people. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Like every time something bad happens, and it's like, I understand it's a nice gesture, like you're wishing your condolences, but all you're doing is saying like, oh, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Here's the attention on me.
Right. Whereas like it's when that happens like in your actual inner circle, like you don't know what to say.
No.
Even if you've been there, there's nothing you could say. So you just stand there.
I think it's
just
tacky.
be there.
If you care that much about if something terrible happens, you reach out to them via like privately, not on social media.
Right.
And I'll let you in on a little secret. And for some people that are listening, they're going to be super offended. If I wish you a happy birthday on social media, but I have your number, like I could have texted you. Well, guess what?
I don't like you.
I don't really like you.
I
don't really like you, but I don't want to ignore your birthday completely. But if I have your phone number and I don't text you and I just wish you a happy birthday via Facebook, I'm just like, I don't want you to think I'm a complete jerk, but I don't care enough to text you.
What if you do both? Does that mean you really love that person?
Of course.
Okay. Cool.
Of course. It's doubling down.
Also, like those people that ask for, like, it's like a last call for their birthday. They're like, thanks for all the birthday wishes.
Yes. If you're not doing that the next day, like thanking everybody, if you're doing it like the night of, you are definitely trying to get more likes.
It's your birthday. They say it's like endorphins and stuff. Like it's
that's why
like
it's so addicting.
High.
That's why kids are like addicted to social, or anybody can get easily addicted to
Spencer Strider didn't say happy birthday to me. Some random ass guy.
Oh my! You know what's weird? I know we're taking a break from sports, but like parents now using social media, like not parents of like kids that are 12. Those are people that are our age. So like my parents using social media.
Right.
Like I don't think I'll ever get. Yeah, they don't do bad. Actually, my dad does better
Your
than I
dad's
do.
Great.
To be honest with you,
great.
he's retired.
We should hire him to answer all of our messages in our DMs because we don't get back to any
4:30 in the morning. I'll fire them all back.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a weird concept. I'm just not used to it. They're not bad at it. I'm just not used to it.
No, it's weird. It's just the one thing I will say is like speaking of DMs and stuff like that this week, there's a lot of guys in the Mets universe that are now like getting their shots at other radio stations, on other pods and stuff like that. So I was in this Twitter thing where it was like Subway to Shade, like they were just on this radio station, blah blah blah, and then they were like, and you got Mike, who's totally Anakin Skywalker and went to Philly. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna embrace that, and so I love that. So
Anakin, only a nerd reference
would call me Anakin Skywalker, but also I was like, yo, I'm here for it. I'll slay all those little Met kids. I don't care.
No such thing as bad press, buddy.
Right? Yeah.
Speaking of your Mets, what's up with that, man?
Yeah, I tried to delay the inevitable as much as I could. Like, look, our stock is down. We just lost the series to the Braves. It's tough right now. They unfortunately, the Mets have seemed like they're in all these games. Literally, the first 2 games against the Braves are up 4-1. So you're like, okay, we're going to coast.
Right.
It sounds like you could win, but no, the game's over within the 6th inning. Like, so the bullpen is trash. It's not a fun time to be a Met fan right now. I could tell you for sure. I think Vogelback needs to go.
God, yes. Thank God you said that.
Yeah, we need to make some moves. And one was this week. Tomas Nido is now gone. So that means Frankie Alvarez is here to stay. Like we mentioned earlier, Pete Alonso, after hitting a home run in Game 1, was hit on the first pitch in Game 2. Has a contusion on his wrist, so he's day to day.
Right, X-rays negative, but they're still keeping him out and running tests.
Yeah, and look, Tommy Pham came in, took over, hit a home run, so he was a big part of the Mets being up 4-1. The Braves took the game, took the lead. The Mets came back. It's just like every game. It's like, how are we going to give this one up? So the Mets notoriously, unlike any other team, are known to do this, right? They tend to lose when you're like, how do you lose that game? So we're in that rut right now, but the cool thing is eventually they will come out of it, probably win 10 games in a row and just in magical sense. So yeah, for whatever reason, but right now a few games under 500, it's not looking good for sure. But then you have the Phillies.
And I would just to get to that. I mean, they're on the up and up. You take the series against the Nats, which you should have. But we were always, we said last week when they were rolling into that series that we were a little worried. We thought and had faith in you, Philly, but it's nowhere I would risk my money, especially with the way you guys were playing. And then you go in and you take the series against the Tigers.
Yeah.
And tough roads ahead tonight. I mean, you got Detroit. I'm sorry, not Detroit. You got the Dodgers, but you have them at home. And you got them all through the weekend and before you go out to Arizona and play the Diamondbacks. So depending on how it goes tonight, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm not saying this is going to be an easy matchup for the Dodgers because the Dodgers are struggling a little bit themselves trying to find their identity. I just think this is where the perfect opportunity where Philly starts to turn it on a little bit.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, look, they're home. The fan base is charged up. They're on the up and up. 8 games out of first, but a couple games out of a wild card. It looks good. It looks good. I'd rather be in their spot right now, especially with the health on their team as opposed to ours. The Mets that be in and their bullpen. Their bullpen obviously is performing like, man. Talk about like not having Edwin Diaz. This is the problem right now.
Right.
Like, yeah, you don't have a closer.
No.
They're trying to piece it together. It's not working. Ottavino can't hold runners on. Peterson's he's an old man. He's a journeyman. He's not meant for that day-to-day life of closing out games. And it's so hard right now. It's so hard.
Your closer is always the hardest spot to fill on your roster. And most teams, don't get lucky and end up getting these guys like Diaz, even like Mariano Rivera, who was just luckily was a shutdown closer for years and years and years. Most times it's just this experiment to see who's hot at the right moment. So yeah, I mean, that's a blank slate that a lot of ball clubs have a problem to fill. The missiles aren't completely firing for the Phillies. They still lack a little bit of offense, but there's one Philly. And the sad part is that there's only one that's projected to make the All-Star roster. All-Star game is coming up quick. I mean, guys, we're in June. It's July 11th, I think, is the All-Star game. And right now, there's only one Philly projected to make the All-Star team, and that is Castellanos.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But, I mean, guys, look, he's 315 average, 360 slugging. His on base percentage is high. He's got 7 home runs, 35 RBIs. Not something that jumps out at you on paper, but that's all-star material.
Right. I think because the fan base gets the vote, I feel like Bryce will get in. I feel like there will be more people that get it just off their name. So JT Realmuto is the best catcher in Major League Baseball right now.
I would agree.
So I mean, I definitely see more of them coming in. The one thing I want to talk about before we go to break is look, the Mets were right about Jacob deGrom, but Jacob deGrom was also right about the Mets. Like, he left Texas. He left for Texas and said that this was a better team.
Correct.
They're a better team. I hate to say it. They're a better team.
Yeah, but he didn't know that. That's like Joe Namath calling the Super Bowl drunk on a beach. You know what I mean?
I get
like,
that. Yeah.
There's no way and I'll say it, if he was sitting in this room, there's no way he firmly believed that. You know what I mean?
Somebody in that system believed it, and that's why they brought DeGrom on.
Fair point. I mean,
you know,
you got the
I mean, it was rumored he was going to go to Texas anyway. He just values that kind of lifestyle more so than not. Read into that however you want. But you know, so the Mets were sitting there September, and there was fans telling me he's going to Texas next year. The crazy part is, and if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, he's going to have his second Tommy John, and the odds of coming back from a second Tommy John are not very good. He knows that. The odds are stacked against him. Obviously, he is a robot. He's a different type of animal. Maybe he can do it. I'm not going to say he's not going to be able to do it.
I will. I'll be the first person to say that.
But what I will say is, you know, the Rangers took a shot on him. It's uninsured, so they have to pay that money out. DeGrom obviously is guaranteed all that money for this season, but it's uninsured, at least through the first season. I don't know what the rest of the contract holds. I would assume that there's some type of insurance after that, but they could not afford Texas to give him that contract and insure at least this season. So we'll see the next season's what unfold, but I'd have to imagine there's a few uninsured years in that contract. So, but what I will say about the Rangers is, yeah, they're playing well. So somebody in that front office knew that they were going to play this well. I was not one of them. I'm obviously, you know, I was like, what do you mean the Texas Rangers? That's a better option. Great. Go enjoy winning 40 games a year. Like, that's how I felt when he left. But look, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, this is the first time something like this is advantage Mets. You know, like, we part ways with a guy and he doesn't become Cy Young. You know, Nolan Ryan, Mets got rid of him and he becomes Nolan Ryan. Like, you know what I mean? So I thought for sure that was going to be a DeGrom situation. And even Noah Syndergaard, you know, we didn't tap on it last.
Cindy's injured now too. I mean,
yeah, he's not injured. He performed yesterday or the day before.
Did he? I thought,
but he's playing. Maybe they did now, but he's playing so bad that he said he would give up his firstborn, and that's such a would you say that now? Like, I'm sure you would have said that before you had a firstborn, but you're not saying that regardless. Like, he said he would give up his firstborn to perform the way he used to. And I feel like you say that's one of those single things you say, but the minute you actually have that firstborn, obviously he was just speaking metaphorically, but
I mean, different calibers. Right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm
going
to say I'm going to give up my firstborn to perform how I perform.
Yeah.
I'd give up my firstborn to perform like Noah Syndergaard.
Sorry, Murph.
Sorry, Murph.
Touché.
But
I could have like 7 more. You.
What is a peak performance? Just means that I can drink a few
It's
more beers and
101
wake up
miles
without
an
a
hour.
hangover. I mean, that's all it is. That's my peak
I just want to
performance.
be hydrated.
My peak performance is making sure never mind. I was going to get too graphic.
No, my God.
So yeah, no, Cindy's on the 15 day. They finally put him on.
Wow.
15 days is 15 days.
Good by you. I didn't see that.
But no, I don't. It's stupid for to perform how you used to. I mean, come on, dude. Especially Syndergaard. If your career ended tomorrow, you've still had a great career. And you were still, you know,
he got knocked around by the Reds, and then the start before this is when he made that comment. So he's had like 2 mentally bad starts. So I'm sure the Dodgers were just like, yo, dude, take 15 days, go clear your head, and figure out baseball, you know, because it's probably more mental than that. And also, like, when your fastball starts going down, you have to become more of a pitcher, you know, so you have
to get creative.
Yeah. You can't just blow it past guys. You got to like start to figure out ways to paint the corners. And that's where Max and Verlander have recreated themselves, you know, because they could have done that when they were on the Tigers. That's what they were doing. Now, freaking pitchers, you know? So
going back to the Texas Rangers, flushed $70 million down the toilet, 7-0 with DeGrom and his injury. They have to pay him $30 this year, plus the $40 for next year while he gets sidelined, not coming back to 2025. But Texas has nothing to worry about.
Mhm.
You know, that of their 40 wins,
it's all that oil.
2 of them were DeGrom. The rest is literally the rest of the
team.
roster. So
Yeah.
it's nothing to worry about. Texas, a huge surprise still, but no, there's no way DeGrom firmly believed that they were the better team.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Not at the time he announced it.
All right.
Not at all. Good chance to tell you guys, check out our socials. Divide Live on Instagram, Divide Live on Twitter. Don't forget to check out Fox Sports The Gambler YouTube. I know you guys have checked out the Philly Debatable. If you like John Jansen and Sean Brace just debating pretty much everything and anything they can argue, you get over there. They love to talk sports and they love to sit across from each other and just kind of go tit for tat. So it's really not bad. I feel like we should do a debatable. Although lately we've just been agreeing with each other.
I know it's tough.
I know. We'll find. Oh, don't worry.
You don't have that dog in you anymore.
Stop it.
Too busy being a dad.
Dude, calling me soft. Don't forget to like.
My gosh, she's cool to say I love you. Like I'm like Corey. It's 9 a.m. in the morning. What's wrong, bro?
Don't forget when you hit up our socials, especially YouTube, guys, like and subscribe, leave a comment, and you will get thrown in the mix for a Rita's gift card raffle. All you gotta do is leave a comment, something nice to say about what you're seeing there, and then when you be able to maybe have some Rita's right at your front doorstep.
What do we got coming up for the people?
Coming up for the people, the Madden curse exists. We all know this, but does it exist if you play Madden in a biopic? One actor is about to find out very, very soon, guys. Catch it next. This is Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Baseball season normally brings us together, unless you're listening to The Divide. Now, here's Mike and Corey.
And welcome back. Welcome, Mac. Welcome back.
Mac. Mac and cheese night.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Mac Daddy. Welcome back to the Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler. Let's get right in. The Madden curse was revealed this week that Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills will be on the new cover of Madden 24. So as a Dolphin fan, I couldn't be happier.
I was thinking that. Carl, my brother, who's a Jets fan, had the same sentiment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Could not be happier. It's almost to the point where, like, as a player, wouldn't you want to be like, nah, man?
Yeah.
Pick somebody else.
And maybe that's what happened, because I thought for sure it was going to be Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts, like, because of the historic year they had with the Eagles. And, and if you go to Philly Debatable and watch their show, they talk about how handsome the guy is and all that. I'm not going to go into all that. But, yeah, I thought for sure Hurts had a remarkable season and kind of deserved that cover. But they gave it to Josh Allen, equally deserving. And maybe if the Eagles end up back in the Super Bowl, they'll be like, oh, God, this guy wasn't on the cover. And,
Seriously.
So
I mean, and then we'll take a look at past Madden covers to see if the curse really hit or not. So you have Madden 24, that happens to be Josh Allen. 23 was just an all Madden edition, was John Madden himself. So really,
the curse.
Well, he's already dead, so there's no curse there. Madden 22 had both Brady and Mahomes. Kind of cursed Brady's love life a little bit.
Yeah.
No physical injury. And then, Mahomes' his brother, but I don't know if that's really anything to do with the Madden curse. Plus, that's 2 years removed, so
right.
You never know. You had Lamar Jackson the year before.
Oh, no.
Patrick Mahomes by himself on the cover of Madden 20.
I feel like that's when we got introduced to his brother.
Maybe. I mean,
So
that
the
was
first one was
2019.
his brother. The second one was his wife.
2019 is when Madden 20 came out, and
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes was on the cover. So maybe he's responsible for COVID. I don't know. That's just
I heard he had a very deep voice before that 2019 cover.
and he turned into Kermit the Frog. But I mean, God, dude, if you look, 2018, Madden 19 is, because it's always a year behind when they release and when it is, Antonio Brown.
Oh, man.
Yeah. 2017 was Brady. 16 was Gronkowski. Odell Beckham was 2015. The Richard Sherman. The list kind of goes on and on after that.
Wow.
So it's
that curse is kind of real, dude.
Yeah, it's eerie because
It is.
and it's not just physical. It's
Gronk is the only one that probably you could argue survived it. Brady, obviously, the
Gronk
first
was
go
always
around.
kinda hurt. Yeah. Ooh, Favre got it when he was with the Jets all the way back in the day.
Yeah, wasn't there pictures that,
2008.
that came
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, well, besides the pictures of him hanging out of his Levi's, he's also
Would it be-
smuggling a whole bunch of money too. Good God, they don't. Vince Young. I mean, Vince Young's nothing but broke right now, so he's not really hurt. But
No.
yeah, it's looking good. Donovan McNabb all the way back in 2005.
Yeah. Outside of not winning the big one, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
man, going all the way back. But anyway, now the Madden curse we know sometimes comes across players that are on the cover of Madden, but now you have a biopic, a Prime Sports video biopic. So I don't know if that just means it's going to like Amazon, or does it say Prime Sports? Now I gotta find this. Where was I? But a Madden movie. Here we go. Madden movie. It's a Prime Video Sports original. So I got to think that has something to do with Amazon Prime. Director David O. Russell is in talks with Will Ferrell to play John Madden. And according to this, he's pretty much signed on.
right.
And it will not be a quirky, funny. It's not going to be like when Kevin James did that football movie where he was trying to be, what's his name? From New Orleans. Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Sean
Yeah,
Payton.
that was kind of lame.
Yeah, no, it's not like that Kevin James trying to be Sean Payton.
Mhm.
This is going to be a serious biopic that kind of portrays John Madden's life and kind of everything that it entailed, basically. I don't know. I mean, it's going to talk and briefly cover areas such as his time at the Oakland Raiders. And I guess, yeah, just how he became John Madden.
So I don't know if you know this because it's kind of like comedy nerdish. But you ever see the HBO original Winning Time? It's about the Lakers. John C. Riley plays.
I haven't watched that. That's on my
Right.
list of things I have to go back and watch.
He plays Jerry, obviously from the Lakers.
Mhm.
Apparently, Will wanted this role. He wanted it badly, Will Ferrell,
Mhm.
and he co-owns Funny or Die
Right.
with the executive producer of this movie. The producer,
With whom? Adam McKay? I think Adam
yeah,
McKay is the other
Adam
guy from
McKay.
Funny or
Yeah,
Die.
exactly. Producer goes behind his back, knowing that Will wants it, and signs his buddy John C. Riley to the thing. So Will breaks up Funny or Die. Like they break up.
That was what the breakup was over. I thought the
that's
Funny or Die breakup
exactly-
happened before the Lakers
No.
thing even came
No,
into
it was
fruition.
once. Well, they went along with the movie. So Will was so hurt by
series,
it.
whatever it was.
Yeah, Will was so hurt by it that he decided to break up Funny or Die, which is crazy, you know. So now he's got big money players on iHeartRadio, his podcast and stuff like that, and he's slowly getting into. I saw Funny or Die doing something together, so I think they are slowly rekindling their relationship. But I'm glad that Will now gets to play another icon now on the gridiron, and that's John Madden. So, Will obviously wanted this role for whatever reason, but I think John C. Riley was right for it. I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, and
But there's ways to handle that.
no, and John C.
amongst
Riley
friends.
has done serious roles before.
Of
You know,
course.
he was in Boogie Nights.
The other one, not Talladega Nights, the other one, the one with Tom Cruise, the other racing movie. What was that?
Racing movies
shoot.
with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. It's like
Hold on, now I got.
dude, it's like it's kind of like Talladega Nights, but they're like it's real.
Let's see. He was in Kong Skull Island. Let me go through his whole list right here. You're
mhm.
going back. I mean, dude, you're going back. Talladega Nights was back in the early 2000s.
Right. Somebody's screaming at their radio right now because they know it. It's like Days of Thunder. Is that it?
That does sound familiar.
Yeah. Because like it's like he plays the same exact kind of guy. And when I saw it, I was just crying. I was crying. 'Cause
That he
it's like-
did in the same character as Talladega Nights.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ricky Bobby. He plays like Tom Cruise's like little Ricky Bobby guy. Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Burke Bretherton.
Dude, it's the
Jesus.
same movie.
Oh my
It's like the
God.
same movie, only serious. It's so funny.
Well, Will's had some serious roles. He did that Paul Rudd series on Apple TV.
Mhm.
Don't ask me what it's called. It was awful. I
'Cause
mean, it was
it's terrible.
serious. It was good
Yeah.
acting, but you
Yeah.
know, when you're looking at Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell, and you're expecting something like I was expecting
Right.
a little bit of comedy, even though it was marked as like a drama.
Right.
There was nothing.
Like
nothing
you
at
would
all.
think there would be some wit and charm. You
No
know,
wit, zero wit
yeah.
and charm.
He also had
Amazing.
that other one where like he's selling his stuff on his lawn. It's terrible.
Everything must go.
Is
Yeah,
that
he
what
plays
it's
like
literally? That's
like
what
a
it's called.
borderline alcoholic that
Yeah.
befriends his neighbor.
And just sells
And
the
he's-
stuff on his lawn.
I don't
on his
think
lawn.
he's well. He was kicked out of the house basically, and he
Okay.
was just in. But yeah, I think he was selling.
Oh, so
stuff.
terrible.
Yeah,
So terrible.
Anyway, so he's signed up to play John Madden. He's taking this serious role, and everybody's kind of. I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out. It's just looking at like someone like John C. Riley, who is friends with Will Ferrell in real life, and he can be both serious and funny. I just look at Will Ferrell and I think something funny is going to come out of his mouth.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
You can't
Like it's just so this is going to be hard for me to watch, even
Right.
knowing he wants to play it serious. Unless he's got like a great cosmetic department and he really looks like John Madden, then okay. But I just am going to expect something stupid or something funny, like stupid funny, to come out of his mouth.
I'm laughing because I'm just envisioning you like doing like a serious role.
I would never be able to.
Yeah.
But I'm looking now. They have like Will Ferrell and John Madden side by side because he's going to play. And I'm just looking at Will Ferrell in this, and he's just like smiling on the red carpet. He just looks funny.
Corey in the remake of Mr. Holland's Opus.
Oh, my God. All right, let's move over to Major League Soccer now that we have you fully awake. Let's try to put you to sleep here. Just kidding.
Nah,
Messi's coming stateside,
that's
baby.
crazy.
Which is he signed with Miami.
Right.
He turned down a ton of money
He did.
from the South, from Saudi Arabia to play
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
And he says, even with signing, he's like, if it was about the money, I would have chosen to go play in Saudi Arabia.
Of course.
There was talks that he'll go back to Spain to play,
That's exactly
like
what
he
he's
did.
going to do. Yeah, I feel like that.
but no, he's headed to Miami to play.
Right.
And people now, because of this, are predicting that Major League Soccer is going to be huge. It's going to be like right up there with American football, the NFL.
I saw the New York Red Bull, like their tickets went from $40 to $400.
Do they play Miami?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. And he's
Huh.
probably not even going to play in that game,
What? Why?
which is crazy. Because I don't think he'll be ready or whatever.
Huh.
But it's just funny how people are now going to go watch this team and be it like, a fan of this team or whatever, which is nuts. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I'm the one that knows all this stuff with soccer and stuff. I just find it hilarious that the tickets went from being sold on everywhere from StubHub and other outlets like that from $30 to $400 in the span of a day. So yeah, August 26th, Red Bulls versus Inter Miami. But yeah, he should be playing by that game, actually.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget the guy's 35 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's probably in great shape, but
Mhm.
he's still 35 years old. So even though he did turn down a lot of money to play over in Saudi Arabia, I don't think this is going to boost soccer. It's going to, people that like watching soccer now get to enjoy watching your favorite soccer player that played
Yeah.
overseas that, now comes stateside. It's kind of like when Beckham decided to come play over here and where was it? LA or wherever
That's
he played.
fair.
But I don't think it's going to make the game more popular. It's not going to
It's going to get
more,
a pop,
yeah, but I
but it
don't,
won't become popular.
no, we're not going to turn on Fox and see,
Right.
primetime streaming of this.
No.
But who knows? I
Mhm.
mean, like you said, pop. In my mind, if it's not about the money,
Mhm.
why are you coming to play in Miami? Why are you
Yeah.
coming anywhere over here? Like you've played all over Europe. Places way more beautiful than this country. And I'm not trying to hate on this. There's beautiful places in this country.
Right.
I've been to Miami several times.
Right.
I thoroughly enjoy Miami. Miami's a great
Yes.
time for me.
Right.
I'm not Lionel Messi.
Right.
He's probably been a million other
Go
places
anywhere.
that are a lot better than
Yeah.
Miami. Why would you come over here and pretty much spend the last remaining years of your career
Mhm.
here?
I think it's going to be a 1 year, and then he's going to go finish out in
Okay,
Spain.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
man.
So
we got Canada Fires down here. It's not even that
But-
great. They might be in Miami by the time he gets
Yeah.
there.
But it's also like I would equate it to LeBron knowing he had 1 or 2 years left, almost now, right? Leaving to go overseas just to get that global pop, because like this is going to be huge. The jersey
I agree.
sales, the merch sales, like this is Jordan going, to play in another country.
Yeah, I just
Like,
have
you
a
know?
tough time making that comparison.
I get that, but when we were kids, I would ask all the other, so we had a lot of internationals that worked with us. So they were on visas and
Right,
here
right,
and
right.
on internships and stuff like that. I would ask them, hey, do you know what Babe Ruth is? No. Do you know what Ken Griffey is? No. Michael Jordan? They're like, oh, yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. So it was this is a global athlete crossing over into an area which their sport is the weakest. So I think from a merch standpoint, he can make a lot.
From a merch standpoint,
Yeah.
but from a league standpoint, this is a
Right.
step down from the leagues that he normally plays in.
Yeah,
So
and-
that's why
and,
it's confusing to me. It's kind of like,
the Saudi Arabia money became crazy because something happened with him and his family, and something about his wife not being able to go, and it's I
right.
think
She was restricted because of whatever
what she is or
Yeah.
does, or they, it sounds like she was a strong, independent woman, and they didn't like that, to be frank. But yeah, so now he's here. I think it's great for Major League Soccer. Don't get me wrong. It's great. Shout outs to the Philadelphia Union. Very passionate fan base. The sport is growing. I'm not going to act like it's not.
Right.
Yeah, but to compare it to hockey or even baseball,
To say you're going to
is-
be up
is
above
silly.
that, I mean,
Yeah.
come on. And
Right.
I understand that hockey and baseball don't, especially hockey, are nearly not,
Yeah.
their numbers as far as who's watching is not high, but soccer is not going to.
And the worst thing that probably happened for them now is the fact that they're on Apple TV.
Mhm.
Because like now it's harder to find it. So if you want to grow the sport, like you said, you got to be on Fox, you got to be on network television. And if they're only going to be on Apple TV, you're already taking half your fan base out of it, because guess what? They're Android users.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be a tough. It's good for the sport, regardless of what you want to say. It's good. Jerem and I were talking about, he's coming down in July. I was like, yo, let's try to get to a Union game, So
I'm in. I don't
yeah.
mind going to watch soccer. Nothing against
Oh, heck
it.
yeah.
But again, don't start making claims. It's fans. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be like
We tried to go to a game when I went to Timmy's bachelor party. We're going to go to the football club of Orlando Football Club, and it just didn't pan out. But dude, yeah, they have a loyal group. Let's call it 10 to 15,000 fans in these attendance, and they go nuts, dude.
Yeah, and dude, like I treat like I can watch baseball on TV, no problem.
Right.
A lot of people, when you're like, I don't mind baseball, I just can't watch it on TV. I have to be there. I feel the same way about soccer.
Yeah.
If I'm going to a game, I'm all in, man.
Right.
But if
Right.
I gotta watch it on TV, I'd rather.
It's funny because I have that same argument about football. Like I'll watch it on TV all day long. I hate watching it live. I do not enjoy
Like
being
the
there live. NFL.
It is a different experience.
Yeah,
it is.
It's like what just happened?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like watching a
Flag on
high
the
school football
play.
game.
You don't have
Yeah.
the replays every 5 seconds.
No.
It's tough. You don't have good
Also,
seats.
like,
You-
yeah, of course he caught that, and then
Yeah.
you watch it on TV, you're like, oh my god, he caught that. Like it's so
it's
it's
like
just
when we went to the Eagles Giants game at the end of
Yeah.
the season.
we ended up
we were like,
watching it
what?
on a
What's
TV.
going on? We're like, what's going on? First of all, we were freezing.
Yeah.
And then those girls next to us
Oh
were so
my
damn annoying.
god. Yeah.
You guys want to do shots? What?
Yeah, of
You want
course
the
we find
shots?
the only New Yorkers in Philadelphia.
Like, what?
And then they're gonna argue what South and Central
Like
Jersey
30
was.
seconds after
Yeah.
they sat down, we should do
Yeah.
some shots.
Yo, you want to do some shots? We're like, no, that
My
sounds
experience,
terrible.
anytime a woman has asked if I want to do shots, I,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
gonna
paying for
end
the
up-
shots.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to get argumentative here, but that's usually I was like, no, I
Right,
don't.
yeah,
I don't
do
even
I
know
wanna-
you. She's like the one was like not even a Giants fan. She was like a Cowboys fan.
Oh
streaming
yeah, it
the
was
Cowboys game
weird.
on
It
her
was
phone.
so weird.
Like,
Both,
we gotta
both
get
with
away
like
from these
Long
girls.
Island accents. It
not.
was too funny.
Shots.
They weren't worth shots either.
Oh man.
Like shots of water.
Let's go. Going back to Sauds, the Saudi Arabians, Saudi Arabia, the Live PGA merger. Let's
Dude.
talk about this real quick
Crazy.
because right now it is one of the biggest things to make the news all week. That's all everybody's talking about. I've been laughing hysterically just at the predicament of it
Yeah.
because you had on one hand, president of the PGA saying, especially all the players that went and took the contract with Live, no, that's dirty money. You can't do that. This is what they support. PGA doesn't support you doing this. Choose one or the other. And then making people like Rory McIlroy, the spokesperson,
Yeah.
putting him in front of the cameras of, being, hey, you're going to be the face of the PGA. So you really have to speak up about this. And he did. And then now he's hated.
really
and
did.
He's seen as this whiny golfer now.
Right.
And people hate him. One of the best golfers to play.
To ever play.
Right.
Yeah.
And people hate him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, for the PGA to turn around and get bought by Liv
Yeah, it's
with
nuts.
Saudi money.
Yeah, they took the money.
It's hysterical. I want Will Ferrell in that biopic on how that went down. That's what I want. It's wild to me. First of all, a lot of golfers left a lot of money on the table. Tiger Woods turned down what, $800 million? Now, granted, like in our group chat,
right?
Was it you?
Yeah,
Or someone
he's
else was
going
like,
for
he doesn't
he's
really
got a
need
legacy.
the money.
He's got Nike. He's got
Right.
so much things wrapped up. He had almost more than the PGA had to give up.
Well, the PGA is a nonprofit.
I
just found that out. That's
Right,
why you're laughing.
right.
Mike's laughing because I literally was. I was like, wait, they're a
I'm
nonprofit,
also laughing because that's not true. Like they're making money for other people,
right?
Like, you know, and
their
they're padding
deals, their
own-
sponsorships, their TV rights, and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
The money still goes to the right people, but the PGA itself, that organization, is a nonprofit, which, as we've learned with most major nonprofits, is a great
all
way to
shell
say they
game.
make a lot of money and don't pay any taxes.
Yeah,
But this whole situation is hysterical.
I
So
agree.
now you have guys that went over to Live, made a lot of money, and now laughing hysterically at the guys that didn't. But the best part about this is, as popular as this has been all week and people talking about it, nobody knows the details.
No,
I have yet to see an actual number, like a final number of with the acquisition and the merger, who gets what's the profit sharing like, if there is any profit sharing. You know, obviously with the PGA being a non-profit, then how do they work out the details of who gets a percentage of the TV
Right.
rights, who gets this, who gets that. They still have to pick a board and advisors and have all that all come together. It's just who's going to be the majority controlling this. There's a lot of things to work out, and a part of me feels like the merger will never happen.
yeah. I don't
Or-
know. It could just be the end of one or the other, right? Because you've seen this with other big businesses where they hurt each other this way, right? But also, like, I don't know, like this became more of a like I saw it was announced on like MSNBC Business,
Right.
and it wasn't even like ESPN or Woj or somebody like that got a hold of it. It was more of a business decision. But yeah, there's so much more going on, and I'm not even gonna. The hypocrisy of the whole thing.
Oh,
Like
God.
they talked about it being blood money. They talked about, and that's the PGA. They said it was blood money. 9/11 victims. They rolled out, every organization from 9/11 to the Widows Foundation,
they
everything. Parents. They dragged Liv through the mud, and now they joined them. And I just feel like, and like you said, they made players pick their legacies or not. I'm sure Tiger had a lot to lose. Like $800 million sounds great, but if you're selling out for that stinks. Especially like, he still had some in the tank. He still has a little bit left now.
Absolutely.
And he's trying to chase records and be the world's best golfer ever. And like, that's still on his mind. He's still a competitor. So like, obviously there was sentimental reasons why a guy like him didn't take that money, and a guy like Rory didn't take that money. And it's unfortunate now because the PGA did take that money, and that's hilarious for a nonprofit to bend the knee and join Live. Because I got news for you. Like, the CW was doing a terrible job broadcasting Live. It was not fun. I tried to watch it. I was like, okay, this could be the way I get into televised golf, because I love golf. I don't like watching it.
And
like,
this is, and I think we could both
Right.
agree, this is a time where golf, I think, is, and it's not just because my age and I play it, but I think it's bigger than ever, and it appeals to younger viewers. now.
Agreed.
I would have never thought to watch golf. I talked to some of my students, or even like they'll just go out, not ones on the golf team, they'll go out and play golf for the weekend.
Mhm.
Like they're just like, oh no, we're gonna do that for fun. Like, we didn't do that when we were kids.
No.
Golf was an old man sport that old men played.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
now I feel like it's just bigger than ever.
No, the age of play is definitely down
Mhm.
into the teens now, for sure. And and it's good. That's advantage the sport. The sport is growing. But like I said, when I watched a live Live televised thing, like, oh yeah, there was a few things. It was like watching the XFL. It wasn't anything, but it would be like if the XFL just had unlimited money. And that's the situation, right? So
Point.
so their product isn't better. They took half your players, and
Yeah.
they have
They're like
endless amounts of money.
less restrictions of like, oh no, we're not, you don't have to wear pants, you can wear shorts and like stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like, come play with
Right.
us and you won't sweat as much. Like,
Mhm.
but It's just again, is this going to be some big masquerade or some charade
Probably.
and never going to happen? Like what happened? I know we're running out of time. Real quick, like didn't at one point WWE own WWC?
WCW. They
whatever
bought
was.
it outright,
but they still ran it as two separate for a long time.
for a little
right?
bit. Yeah. Well, it was like ECW was the one you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
They ran that separately. They owned it longer. But WCW, the second Vince owned it because of his ego, he went on their television and was like, yeah. He had Shane and him simulcast it and like announced their death. So yeah.
Of course.
And PC Richard owns The Wiz, just so you know. TheWiz.com. Go to TheWiz.com right now and check it out.
No way.
Yeah, we're tired of them coming back.
Nobody
beats the Wiz. PC Richard did.
Yeah, did beat him.
So that's your history lesson of today.
There it is. And we're going to leave you on that next week, guys. Tune in. It is going to happy birthday to you. To the Divide Live. Happy birthday. Big birthday celebration. I can't wait for that. You to cut that clip of me saying happy birthday. Catch us next week on the